just shows some Down syndrome kiddos as they get older, as they're moving on to life, and what they figure as success for them.
I like to be independent
because
I can do to be smart.
So independence is important because it is part of everyday life.
Well, my happiness is independent.
You want to succeed in life. By succeeding, you got to be independent with your family and with yourself.
I catch some bus every day.
I catch the bus independently on my own.
To me, being independent means that I get this my own choices and decisions in life.
I do love going to work, yeah. I have a part-time job, which is working dogs.
What makes me happy is having a job, having a reason to get up in the morning, every morning, having the structure in the day, earning money, meeting new people, learning new skills.
Okay. You're okay. Continue.
Let's see if this works.
Not working now. Microphone.
We can hear you, Kent.
Oh. Darn,
And we
sorry.
heard the last video.
You did hear the last video?
We did. We just didn't hear
Okay,
anything
then.
before that. So I think if you want to replay this second video, we should be able to hear it. We did hear the first one. If there's sound right this moment, we're not hearing any sound. Kent and Julia, we don't have any sound right now. We could hear you earlier, and now we hear nothing. Now we hear sound.
All right, I don't know how to do the sound on this next video. Can you guys play it while I show?
You might have to hold your mic to your speaker.
Okay. Let's try this again. Okay, so this next video is how to embed functional skills into curriculum to support some of these other areas, language, motor, academic growth. And this is just a quick video, and really it looks like an AAC video because we're using a lot of AAC. But I want you to pay attention to the video and see what occupational therapy, what physical therapy, what adaptive things, what vision things, what things in this video are also being addressed in this really short, just kind of curriculum experience.
Make it go. Yay! Good job, Philip. Do you know what we're going to make?
Make.
What are we going to make?
Make.
Do you know?
No.
You don't know?
No.
That's okay. I'll tell you. We're going to make cookies. Cookies. Do you love cookies? Russell, do you love cookies?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go over here because when we make our cookies, the first things, look, we're going to go to colors. Colors, because we're going to put in some brown sugar. Who wants to put in the brown sugar?
Me.
You do? Okay, Russell's going to put in the brown sugar. Very good. Philip, do you want to put in some sugar? Yes? Okay, let's look over here. There's one more sugar left. Let me show you. Here's the sugar that needs to go back. This is white.
White.
It's white sugar. And let's go to core. You can say, I want to put it in. Yes, good job. Okay, Philip, here. You can put it in. Yay, very good. All right. I think that it's time to use the mixer. This is going to be so cool. Are you ready to help? Help. You're going to help with the mixer. Okay, so I'm going to hold it. And then you guys are going to make it go. Okay, I'm going to hold it here and you guys just hold down that button. Make it go. Whee! What do you think? Gotta make.
Okay. See, can you get this? All right, you can kind of see that there was lots of things that were integrated that maybe we didn't focus on, that we weren't necessarily trying to train, but so many things can be involved in the things that we do. So the takeaway for today that I'd like you to go away with this is that real life tasks are meaningful and engaging and get our kids to learn so much more. All right, so why functional teaching matters? So much of our time throughout the day is medical, it's developmental, it's how do we get this up? How do we get them to get to the bathroom? How do we get the behaviors under control? So if, a typical kiddo is learning how to do this with their moms and dads when they're 3 or 4, by the time we've got our kids behaviorally even engaging to the point where we get an AAC system, we've kind of missed that parental milestone where we think about these things, some of these younger skills. So I think that we can kind of
and Julia,
all the way up through high school. Independence of making their own. What do they like to eat? Do they like mac and cheese? Do they like sandwiches? What kind of things do they like to make? And we can engage some of those other IEP goals along the way. And it needs to be contextual. How many times do we see these kids learning from starts? And we hear so many parents come in or other professionals come in and say, oh, but they know all of their math. Oh, they know all of their math. They're so good at this. But then if you say, okay, so how many of these do we need for the class? No idea. Well, what do we need? No idea. Skills haven't been taught conceptually. Yeah. Oh, there's way more people. Can you look at it?
Perfect.
I actually did this with my 4-year-old, my Friday. He was singing the Days of the Week song. He sang the song. And he asked me a question, and he was like, Mom, okay, do we get the same home? I said, we get the same home on Saturday. So if today is Thursday, what day is tomorrow? And he looked at me and he went, no idea. But you're sleeping the whole day of the week. I said, okay, we'll sing your song. Tell me your days. And as soon as he left, okay, what the heck? But we need that conceptualization rather than just we've done it on this calendar board for. We know that on this picture, this day is Friday and this day is Saturday. But we need that concept to be engaged across areas. And who isn't looking for that independence? So learning to count to 20 for 12 years of school, or learning that in order to go outside, I need 2 pairs of shoes, 2 shoes, a jacket. What are the things that I need? Well, we can do that now. How many jackets do we need to use for jackets?
So I would like.
All right, so how do we get academic skills embedded into those real life tasks? And this is where my handouts come in today, but they are here. You can download them. They were like 16 pages, so I print them. But one of them, or part of it, is these academic tasks and functional activities. There is a section for motor. For gross motor, fine motor, social skills, language skills, academic skills, and some functional areas. So like it has academic skills that are self-care tasks, following written or picture-based hygiene routines, reading labels, hygiene products, how do we read them, how do we know which toothpaste flavor we want to get. And then fine motor has the same thing, so self-care tasks. Gross motor has it, speech language has it. Same areas, but the tasks that would build into those different specialties. But overall, math skills can be budgeting for shopping, counting ingredients for a cooking or a craft, reading the instructions of a game. How important is that when they're little? They want to play the game, right? And some of the instructions are super, super crazy. So you just go whiteboard, doesn't have to be crazy, and write down the steps of the game. But they have to tell the group how the rules work. First, roll. Number one, roll. Doesn't have to be the game instructions. But learning that skill of instructions and what I do can be those engaging things, like how do I make the gingerbread house for Christmas time? How do I play this game that I want to play? Because those skills are going to directly tie into how do I build the audience for my house when I get a house? How do I set things up? Same skills, but we're starting at our level. But you can also use it to hit your reading goals. If your reading goal is the student is going to read so many common core words, how many core words can we put in that? Directions for the game. And take that off on your data. You've now got that skill and you've got your goal map. Let's see. For math, the numbers of items needed for the week's recipe. So every week, cook on Fridays. How many things do we need? How do we get those things? Budgeting money for shopping. Looking through a grocery ad. Earning it through classroom first. Kind of like she said today, I could have thought the same thing. Is if we were to cook pancakes, that's the thing we vote because we were doing a speech and language activity on conceptualizing what we were going to cook. Then we looked up the recipe online and used our reading skills to do that. And then we looked at our grocery shopping and we decided what items we needed and where they were on sale and how much they were going to cost. We're going back in. And then by the end of the week, we're going to make those pancakes. Look, we got to get those things, right? We need those grocery items. So how are we going to buy them? And depending on the level of your kid, if they need longer math problems, then you can make your items be, now my milk is $3.50. Or if my kids are low, well, that's $1. Because I want, simple math. So we're going to set up a grocery store. And we're going to make the things cost this much money. And we're going to have a section because we're going to categorize. We're going to take the milk, we're going to put the dairy section. You can have these things brought from home. You can have empty containers. They're represented with full containers of the things you're actually going to use for the recipe. But if your kids earn money all week doing things in the classroom, then they can take the money that we have in the basket and we can buy all the ingredients to make our thing. And then on Friday, we have our ingredients. We organize our ingredients. Oh, but we can't until we have cleaned up the area. So then we have more. Because we got to spray that spray. We got to wipe the camera. We have to maybe make it. So then all of these skills can combine across areas throughout your team. For writing lists. You guys get the news to write. They can write lists. No, eggs. For science that week, you can do experiments on eggs. Look, it's all good. How do we do it? Why did it change? Do eggs flow? Do they stink? Studies. So we make cookies. What cookies do they like? Do they like something else? How about we look it up? But it's all still interconnected with those things that are functionally engaging to our students. And problem solving comes into play in all of these areas. What happens if we don't have the ingredients we need? Okay. So this is where we get interactive. These are some goals that I pulled from students in our district. I just went in, I pulled some IMP goals. These are not functionally based goals. These are goals that you may have for a student in your classroom. So if you have these goals, there we go. I will do number 3. So write your own story problem. So single digit addition or subtraction, story problems on a graphic organizer, student will create a number sentence that's solving the problem with 80% accuracy for 3 consecutive stations. We've got all the verbiage and all the things we have to have in control, right? They're all there. How we do it, what the percentages, what our expectations are. But so do we have to pull out that assignment? Do we have to pull out the Go math? Do we have to pull out that sort of problem for our lesson? Those are my goals. So write your own sort of problem. Using the activities you're doing all week. So if we're making cookies this week, okay, Mrs. Ramirez had 5 chocolate chips, or Monster X, or craft project, or whatever you're doing. But she used 3 of them. So how much does she have left to share? Does that not meet our goal? But is it engaging? Because we're actually making the cookies, and oh, I had 5 chocolate chips, and you had 2 chips too. I'm only going to use 3 of them. So how many do I have left that I can give what I'm doing? Do you see how that kind of pulls that math into what you're already doing? You don't have to type it up. You don't have to make it pretty. As it is something I really wanted to be, I want it to be laminated. I want it to last for my lifetime. A piece of paper. If this math problem is just effective. All right, so I want you to get with people around you and look at these goals. You can do one I did, you can do any of these goals, and just kind of think about how you could take this very structured IEP goal and you could actually engage it in something you're already doing in your classroom. You're not really changing what you're doing, you're just changing how you're approaching the goal and the activity. So I'm going to give you a couple minutes, talk with people around you, and then we'll come back and come up with ideas that would hit these goals in all the different ways, in different settings, in different places.
We'll keep that closed and all. Okay. No. We didn't get the setup right to start with. There should be like a whole bunch of mics.
Right, and I just want.
Too many conditions, too many things going on. Something. It is what it is right now.
But something you're already doing in a functional way. Anyone?
They could write it out, that they could explain it to me.
Perfect. So the given model. So we're not sentences. So the second goal on this list. So we're revising and writing things. We said take your lunchroom routine. How do you get to lunchroom? What kind of things do you need to do? And you could write those down to teach the new student. to teach the peer tutor that comes into the room. So then this task becomes functional because you already know all the lunch reviews. But how would we teach somebody else? We have Fred coming with us lunch today. So we got to write this down for him. Did we not have this goal? But is it now not engaging? Am I going to fight you? Oh, I will show the new person how to do it. Well, or the paraprofessional. Anybody outside the room, or the paraprofessional that's not there. Any other ideas? Or
People online can repeat the question.
who did?
Oh, you did, okay.
Will you repeat it one more time, Kate? We were muted on this side for a moment.
Okay.
Sorry.
So just the question of what we're looking for.
Yeah.
Okay, so looking at these goals, what kind of areas did you come up with? You could use functional tasks to hit these same goals that we have in our classroom.
So we have a lot of our students write emails to show that this picture, you know, like.
Yeah. Okay, so write an email or a text. I feel like we don't teach kids how to text. I've had students who, you know, were moved on in life in front of their parents, so they have gotten phones. And I get the most random text on the planet. It's just words. Because we haven't taught them how to do that. So emails, texts, letters, pen pals, any of those things, you're still getting the goal, but that's engaging. Any other ideas? Comprehension. Do you have a question?
We can take guess now.
Thank you. And I've done that, and then change the qualifications. It's no longer yes, no.
It could also be like a sort of fun thing where you have to guess who it is based on facts about all the students that you already know, and everyone has to guess. One has to guess who it is.
Guessing the people in your classroom, but using those clues about them. Last one.
Set it up, the first one, like being ready to do it as a play, because first graders love everything.
What is in play? Like acting it out.
And then draw where you are on whiteboard and then we act it out, because they have to have like who it is, what they might need.
Yeah, so it is. So I remember thinking, what probably need, because we're gonna do a play. We're gonna do an activity where we're gonna show our peers, our friends, our parents, preparing money. We're gonna act something out. So then we're asking these sorts of questions. All right, so that's our academic skills. We can hit those academic skills and throw them into these functional things. So then we have some of these other areas, which many of your students are going to have, not all of them. But if we're looking at integrating some of these motor and vision therapy into these functional tasks, tasks, so growth motor, place your items through the activities in containers and integrate motor into opening and closing them. So I'm sticking with cooking just because I could go in all the directions. Eating chocolate chip cookies or pancakes or something. So put the chocolate chips in zipper bag. Bag is easy to open. We're gonna zipper your bags. You each get a zipper bag. They won't open them. Oh, you know, we're gonna use tempo to close the bag. So then we're using those fine motor skills. In a very engaging task, did you tell them you have to zipper this? You have to buckle this. You need to do your buckle 4 times today. No, let's figure out what to zip to. You gotta zip your project closed. You need to open the container or to be able to play in free time. Because in free time, if I want that one, no, let me my phone. Yeah, it's open. Then I hit in the motor task if you have to open this container because that's the only way you're getting out of this. Yeah. Let's see, this processing, switch these in color. Visual recipes. So we're gonna put those visuals on those recipes. And they don't have to be beautiful. Research says if they represent something and you teach it that it represents something, then it works. So if in our classroom, it's always going to be a check mark for all that. As long as our kids know the check mark means all that. It's a beautiful check mark. Check mark. But then if we're cooking, we have kids that need some of that visual integration. So in our class, these have rules. Like this one is only for fruits and vegetables. This one is only for bread. This one is only for whatever. So okay, we're gonna cut some carrots for this activity that we're doing today. Which one do you need? Can you tell me which one we need? So then we integrated that vision that they already need to work on. into an activity that again is fun and it gets to the peers there. All right. Learning. All right, more goals. These are both vision goals. So area you are, if you're we can integrate this. If you're a classroom teacher, if you're a resource teacher, you can integrate this. You're going to have these kids. All right, so I'm going to go goal 3 again. So in order to access IP goal, student needs to continue to increase trunk and head control in order to access switches, ideas, materials, and socialize with peers. So we have to engage to sit up because we have a hard task and it is not fun to do it. But if we play a game that's visually stimulating, visually exciting, off the pirate and step on the sword, okay, fuck your sticks because we don't use swords before. And it's like this, we're gonna pop the pirate and he's gonna pop out. And it is very exciting and a little bit scary for our students. And then I want to see that happen. So we're gonna put it in there. And that kid is going to have the switch. Decide how many sticks I can put in. You don't believe you can watch this. All I can do is watching me. So then we've got them engaged by being the randomizer and the other kids are taking turns or doing whatever and bring in those peer support so then the peers are engaged too. Because then they're excited for what switch you can put. We've got to switch, how many? Did you see how it's pulling in rather than, oh, you got to sit up in your standard. So when you do today, so we're not standing up in our standards, sitting up and doing our motor stuff. Now we're playing games at the same time. All right, and we need to come look at these goals, see if you could integrate these in things you're already doing into classroom tasks.
Keyboarding easy.
Okay, that's hard.
Well,
Oh,
Flag talk is so good. Let's do it.
Which one is this one sharing? This one is. This one's plugged in. This is, yes, we don't get that many mics. They can buy it to. I don't know. Can they hear us? They can't hear mine. It's just a little bit echoey because it's using this mic. That's the best we can do. That's fine. We can fix the session. The best we can do is use the mic from the computer. Let's just go for now. Give that 15 more minutes. She's using the lapel, so that's still going through.
writing to jazz players.
Write to your jazz players, to your people that they are in love with.
Yeah.
You write letters. And if it's coming from a classroom, why could you write it?
He didn't, did not respond. So you're listening, Utah Jeff.
Come on, Jeff. I maybe would falsify it and respond to it. A minute that it comes to hard to get like, it was the lowest, the element that is on. Fine, I have to remove microphone. So we can see. So just they had a student that couldn't type on an iPad because if the bar that shows how much battery life it has with anything but 100%, all of our system stressed, it shut down. The executive functioning skills were out the window. That was going to explode. It was going to die. So we needed to use one of these keyboard options so that the kid could not have it connected to anything, but could still work on those typing skills because he knew how to spell, he knew how to type, but there are other areas that were getting in the way of that skill. And then had mom send in pictures of family, pets, those kind of things, so that it was engaging to him, so that he could type in those names. Those were the things that we were typing, and then move that into superheroes and worked on capitalization, some of those other skills with their interests in mind, so that they were engaged in that activity. For organizational mobility, ooh, big one.
For like older kids, like maybe the post-high program or something, having a gift card.
Ooh, a gift card.
To orient to the right direction to get to the location you.
And you need to use the gift card, but how do you get there?
Even if another staff member was there with whatever it was, they have to go and finish the process.
That they have to get to the store. I mean, it could. You've got big access and you are allowed to take your students, take them to all the places. But if not, maybe the gift card buys them something at the school store, but they have to get there. How do they follow them out to get there?
This last week with the lots of things with the princesses, so we did a scavenger hunt. Searching high low. We had a simple low tag board that's forward, backwards, left or right. I control the wheelchair while my student was holding it with it. We had to tap the directions, and if she wasn't fast enough, I wouldn't run her into the wall, but I would run myself.
Right. For those of you online, theme little girl in middle school. Lot of princesses. They did a scavenger hunt looking high and low all over the school. He was in charge of the actual movement of the wheelchair, but she had a board that said forward, backwards, left, right. So if she didn't say where he was going, he just walked. Is that not a big school? I just broke you a really big wall. Sometimes that even more. Time then it's like, oh, I'm gonna stop. So we adapt. Now I stop. You don't live anywhere around me. Girl. Science. That is the one thing you learn in this field, is you can out-stubborn anyone. And if you lost the battle. So we can stand here, tell me where to go. But if we're looking for princess things in a scavenger hunt, likely they are not going to wait because they want to get there. They want to do it. It's engaging. All right. Language development into functional activities. My bread and butter. I do this all day. So, using AIC to sequence tasks, language goals, so we can have language goals in the shopping list, integrating those, sorting things into categories. So sorting all of our virtual things into categories, being able to identify those categories, and we can sort them all sorts of things. So we have things that go in dairy. We have fruits and vegetables. They go in produce, but we can do by produce. We could also do by fruits and vegetables. We could buy fruits and vegetables that they like and hate. We could do, so you're using the same thing if we were doing cooking all week. but you're using it in a different way to engage those other things. Articulation. Our kids often with articulation is higher resistance, so it's never going to be topical and it's going to be a disaster. But let's not concave forever. We just need to concave when you're little. We look for functional articulation. Do you order chicken nuggets? Well, they have a K and a G in it. You don't need to know every single K word in the universe because those words aren't important to you, and we're not going to do it.
I just can't help myself. Or you could work on intelligibility strategies to start to navigate those challenges, right?
This is true.
This is true. I'm just saying, like, no, I'm thinking functional too. I'm thinking right there with you.
I had some this math, but we worked on the also. And so we did any math, we and then followed up with like
See? Yep.
Part of them, and got to watch themselves, really engaging, and they had to go and ordering natural.
Perfect. Okay. So with articulation, so we looked at the menu to decide the map, figure out what they were going to order. They have to decide what they were going to order, what they're going to change. I want a hamburger, but I don't want ketchup on my hamburger. But we need to be able to communicate. And they get so used to mom knowing that we fix it for them. We rules change. We can use the public transit. It was free. And we had our kids figure out a menu and figure out what they wanted to order. We all got on the bus. And we went to the local restaurant. And they knew what to order and they ordered at the restaurant. And the beauty of ordering when I'm involved, I fix it for you. Because okay, I do fix it, make sure. But I structure them and I scaffold them and I support them. But if they don't order it correctly, you know what you said to them? You said you wanted ketchup. Is that what you really? But then the articulation and that communicative facts, where if I'm doing those flashcards, I just want to get out of this task. I might actually be able to say those things. But I'm not going to use it in life because it doesn't matter to me. For language, hold on what we're going to do. Where are we going to go? What community helper are we going to bring in? What restaurant do we want to try to order from? We don't need DoorDash in New York. It's not allowed either. But first of all, figure out how far you can stretch them to do things that are engaging and pull in all of those community things into what you're already doing. AAC is easy, like that. Don't make it complicated, but do make it there. Make it exist, make it part of what you're doing, even if all they're doing is saying, this is gross and I hate it. Was that engaging? Did they learn how to do something functional? Yes. We need to pull that in, even if it's very, very simple. All right. This is our last group. So some language goals and how we can incorporate them into whatever you're doing. So if you are speech, you already know how to engage language. Tell lots of people, how do you engage language and what you're doing? Question teachers, how do you pull this into what you're already doing? Speech people, how do you pull yourself into what they're doing? I'll give you an example for this one. So single step directions. Student will demonstrate understanding of basic concepts, including front, back, between, next, before, after. Work with picture prompts. So all of those good preposition words that we need to learn. Well, back to cookies. So we make chocolate chip cookies. We got to put them on the pan. So you got to put them where I tell you to, or they're not going to cook right. So this one has to go at the top. It has to go next to the other one. It needs to go below that one. Ooh, sewing on this. Need some on the other side. Can we put it in between? Ooh, those ones are too close together. Let's put them farther apart. So then we're using all of those directions, but they also create cookies. So here's your goals. Talk to your partners. How you engage this in an area that's not yours.
Okay. Yeah. I love it.
Great for you guys.
We can't hear the audience questions. For those in the room, we're having a really difficult time on Zoom hearing. Can you use the mic or redirect the questions through the person using the mic?
What are you doing this function? Our speech table, we have
We're in a younger grade class, then the stand table or the
okay.
table. You could have minis in there that were multi-syllabic words, and you could have Tom. There you go. Tom.
But then you can set mine, so have to find a better. We're doing speech and language.
Say which one they're gonna do first before they pick it up. So be banana, pick it up, put it in their cup. Motorcycle, dinosaur, and they can be practicing multi-syllabic words and using the tongs to like get them out of the sensory table.
Yeah, so we're using tongs to get things out that are multi-syllable words in a sensory table. We could also have them fill up their cup. Every cup they fill up gets them however much money towards this cooking activity. So then we're engaging math skills too. So we're engaging those communication and those motor skills, but we can also engage math. Or we could write down those things, and those are writing.
There was a comment that came up that said they can't hear them.
Okay.
Maybe it's commenters.
They're one. Yeah, I need to reiterate what they said so that you can't necessarily hear them.
They were trying to hear.
Oh.
I don't know.
No, I can't see it. Okay, so hopefully they can hear. I know that you can't hear the people commenting, so I'm trying to kind of just restate what they said. But those skills can be, so if I have, then we're gonna find cereal. We need cereal to make our Chex Mix. We need graham crackers. What things do we need for our recipe this week? What things do they have that we don't need? Do we need graham crackers? No, we don't. But did we hit that goal and our goal that we're working on? Can we write these things down and then we write our list, our grocery list, and then we practice the words on our grocery list so that we can tell people when we need to find them or buy them or anything like that. I didn't have time, I'm too much to say. All right, Okay, AIC requesting items using short phrases. This is easy. We can throw this into math. We can throw it into anything we're doing. We're requesting. All right. We're down to 10 minutes. I'm going to cruise. All right, these are your people. Use them. Love them. Care with them. They might not all be your people. We don't always go on with everyone. SOPs will give you language models and AAC integration. And I don't know how to get this AAC in here. I don't know how to program it. How am I going to get them to do these things? How do I get them to engage in this activity? Because they don't have friends. Do they have crackers? Do they have brown? Do they have sweet? Do they have like? How can we incorporate this in different ways? OT, you're going to have your fine motor skills and sensory processing ideas. Your kid really can't handle a certain sensory thing that we're going to be doing. They don't like the feel of stirring. That's a weird sensory. I don't know how to do it. So can they push a button and use the mix? But I don't touch it. I don't know how to engage with it. But I can hit this button and I'm still involved. But they give me those ideas. How do I incorporate this kid that maybe has more integration issues that I know how to do? PT, growth motor skills, physical coordination. How do they get these groceries back to the classroom? I would argue that I would put these somewhere else. You have a preschool room that's not used on Friday, do this activity on Friday. You have a principal that likes you enough to let you use their office. Go down, order the things. I need this and I need this, and then we're going to bag it. We're going to put it in the bag and we're going to carry those bags back to our classroom. How many times do parents carry the groceries to these kids? Because it's easy. Make them see the needs. Do it in engaging ways. I can't carry all the groceries. I need someone to push the bag and pull all that heavy groceries. Then we're working on those things. Vision specialists are going to give you a vision idea. What level of vision do we have? Do our recipes need to be blown up on your screen? Blown up on the screen? Do they need colors? Which colors work better? Do they need dark backgrounds? Do they need light backgrounds? They're going to tell you what your kids need. AT specialists are going to bring in all of the ideas, all of the equipment, thoughts. I don't know how to engage this kid. How do I pull it in? What things do you guys have to help me with that? And then your teachers are going to be the bread and butter. They're going to be the activity skills. How do we integrate all this together? How do we get it all together? How do we coordinate these teams together? All right, I've kind of gone through this already. Let's make it go. So, I would like you guys to give me an activity, and I will tell you how I would incorporate all of these functional skills and areas into any activity. This is my superpower. I can think 7 steps ahead of myself. I sometimes trip over myself getting there, but I have spokes in my brain that go out in 17 different directions. It is why I have endorsements in all of the other areas. It is why I switched fields midstream, because I like all of the things and how they go together. So what activity? You can pick an activity that you have in the classroom, that you have an idea. You can pick a really abstract activity that you're like, this is really weird. Anyone? What activity could we use that would be functional? Or not functional? What activity? Class.
Archery.
Archery. Oh, beautiful. All right, so let's teach our kids archery. So I'm not high school because I'm not teaching my own archery. Okay, so we're gonna pull in those executive functioning. We're gonna plan for archery. What safety things can we need? We're gonna hit our functional things. All right. So we're gonna start by figuring out what archery is. Does everybody know what archery is? Do we have the vocabulary on our devices? Have our kids learned about archery? Do they know archery? That's going to hit all of those background knowledge, all of those things. We're going to read stories about brave. We're going to read whatever kids are into. We're going to read stories that use archery because now archery is cool. I like archery. We're going to watch a little. We're going to look and we're going to see videos. And then we're going to write about those videos and then we're going to use our writing skills. We're going to talk to our OTs and our PTs and we're going to say, how on earth do I get my kids to do archery? There's ideas on how we can engage those kids and how we can adapt it to them. We're going to, let's see, what other areas we got? Math. Decide how far away our target is. We're going to do the math. We're going to measure. We're going to measure how far we're going to do. We're going to make estimates on who's going to get the closest to the target. Estimate who's doing that. math again. We're gonna then take pictures while we do it, and we're gonna write stories for our parents about what we did in archery, which is going to work on that writing piece. Speech and language, we're gonna make fun of each other along the way and be like, I mean, we're gonna cheer each other on because we're good people. So we're gonna use that style of communication. Oh, I bet do you think you? I think I can make it both. Do you think I can? So we're gonna engage with our partners to do that thing. We're gonna carry our own archery equipment. That's gonna give us some motor tests. We're going to learn how to pull back. We're gonna get adaptive bows if we can find them. We're gonna maybe pull into community because we have common ground up in Logan that maybe already has adaptive equipment that we can borrow or rent. Any other cool things you did with your archery that I did not mention?
Adapted.
Oh, adaptive PE. Oh, people, absolutely.
We just had to adapt to those that were adapted.
See, adaptive bow. But you already have them. I don't have it, but I could figure out how to find it. You maybe have a kid whose whole life wanted to do archery and that is their thing. Well, the rest of the class likes archery. What? Engaging to them. But it also fits that dream of that kid.
There's also little ones you can make with Q-tips.
That's follow-up cast. You guys like the Q-tips. So then you're using crafts and motor and all of those things too in order to make those. And then you can still do that. We measured how far we shot our bows. No, little ones. How far do they go? Was it further? Was it less than? How much less? How much farther? So. All right. Barriers, challenges to doing this. This is hard. I get it. But create that group project. You've got people that want to do this. All of you came to this meeting today from all of the different specialties because this engaged you. So engage your people. Pull them in and use them. Parents, aides, classroom teachers, everybody. Because if your goal is to make independent people, all of these people want to help you do that because they want to be involved. They love it when these kids come and visit them in their classrooms and their offices, ask them questions. So engage them in that. You know, I tell you what, custodians are my favorite. They have adaptive bows. You make them do all the things. I'll be like, oh, my testing booklet fell apart. They're like, bolts and screws in there. That saved me $200. Hold these people to your activities. And make functionality your ultimate classroom goal, not something extra that you're adding. So if it's your goal to have a functional classroom, write goals in the ways that support that. So we have these convoluted goals because that's the way we have to write them. But what goals said, give real scenarios involving money, time, or measurements, two-digit division problems with at least 80% accuracy, 4 out of 5 opportunities, using visual support to manipulate or calculator as needed to demonstrate functional application of math skills in daily life. If I went to a parent and I said, I want to teach your kid how to do these skills every day, very few parents would fall through behind. And if they did, I'd talk them through it. Because let's engage our kids in functional things that they can use in daily life. Oh, and talk about success. Success is awesome success. Celebrate it because that's what you get somewhere. You all of these illustrations. So all your class, who will bring it? My aides will bring stuff. My classroom teachers will bring stuff. My parents will send stuff. I can bring stuff. Pull them all in, and if they do contribute, your parents send you eggs, which are like gold for their science project. Tell them all the things they did. They didn't reasons. They asked if their peers could come. The peer tutoring, they use it right independently to ask you things. Well, tell them because it not only makes them excited and love you, it also makes you happy. Because then you shared that, and other people got excited and were like, "Oh, I'm going to do this." The extra work was worth. And don't forget that piece because it's important for the kids, for the parents, for the school environment. All right, our handouts right there. I told you about the one. These are tasks that you can use as functional. There's another one that has goals. There are functional goals of all of these areas directly tied to the DLM so that you have some ideas of things that could be functional goals. There is also the handout, which is just cool looking at it. It has like a life skills cheat sheet for planning IEPs, but it looks at the areas that you should cover in some of these more severe fashion. Conceptual skills, social skills, practical life skills. So when you're looking at your goals, you want to make sure that you're hitting all the areas. All right, sorry, two slides, I didn't believe her. Okay, functional tasks are powerful ways to make academic success and make them generalized. These are the things that engage your kid and generalize. Start small, prioritize your meaningful tasks. Okay, last thoughts. Okay, ethical learning in classroom is an opportunity to build skills that extend far beyond your school walls. By embedding functional language, motor, vision, and academic tasks into real-life tasks, we are not just teaching isolated concepts. We are equipping our students with the tools they need to lead meaningful, independent lives. Together as educators, therapists, and support staffs, we have the power to create environments where every student can thrive. Let's continue to collaborate, innovate, and celebrate every step of progress, no matter how small. Thank you for your dedication, your passion, and your commitment to empowering our students for life's journey.